title of the story is The Shadows of Ravenswood. Nestled within a dense, ancient forest that seemed to stretch for endless miles in all directions, the town of Ravenswood lay shrouded in an eerie, perpetual mist. Few ventured here, and those who did often spoke of the unsettling aura that clung to the place. Isolation had made Ravenswood a realm unto itself, untouched by time, locked in an eternal autumn. The town's origins were shrouded in mystery, and its very existence seemed to defy logic. Ravenswood's history was a tapestry woven with dark threads. Unexplained disappearances stretched back generations, their causes as elusive as the missing persons themselves. Locals would whisper tales of those who vanished into the forest, as if consumed by the very shadows. And on moonless nights, the howls of unseen creatures echoed through the trees, creating an unrelenting sense of dread that weighed heavy on the hearts of the town's residents. One legend cast its imposing shadow over Ravenswood, known to all as the Curse of Blackthorn Manor. This mansion, perched at the edge of the town, was said to be the epicenter of the town's misfortune. Its grand, foreboding presence was a constant reminder of the darkness that plagued Ravenswood. The mansion's history was as enigmatic as the town itself. Built by a reclusive eccentric in the late 1800s, it was rumored to be constructed atop a Native American burial ground, a claim that further fueled the paranormal tales. Unsettling stories told of strange lights that flickered in the mansion's windows, even though it had been uninhabited for decades. As history passed, Blackthorn Manor became a place locals dared not to approach, enveloped in ghost stories and rumors of a malevolent spirit that inhabited it. Its overgrown gardens, crumbling walls, and shattered windows only added to the mansion's eerie atmosphere. Ravenswood had, for many, become a town frozen in fear, where the past intertwined with the present in a haunting dance of shadows and secrets. And it was into this enigmatic and eerie tapestry that Alex, the skeptical paranormal investigator, would soon step, drawn by the lure of the unknown and the whispers of the supernatural. As the misty veil of Ravenswood enveloped the town, Alex's arrival was met with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. With a reputation as a skeptical paranormal investigator, they had come to this isolated enclave to debunk the town's notorious supernatural tales. Armed with an array of scientific instruments and an unwavering belief in logic, Alex was determined to prove that the darkness shrouding Ravenswood was nothing more than the stuff of superstition. Upon arriving in town, Alex was greeted by the locals, though the welcome was far from warm. Distrustful eyes followed their every move, and hushed conversation ceased when they entered the local tavern. It seemed as if the very air was infused with suspicion and trepidation. The townsfolk, often referred to as the guardians of secrets, were deeply rooted in their superstitions, wary of outsiders, and protective of the town's mysteries. Undeterred by the frosty reception, Alex set out to explore the ancient forests that bordered Ravenswood. These woods were whispered to house entities beyond the understanding of science. It wasn't long before the investigator's skepticism was tested. In a clearing, shadows danced, and the wind whispered strange incantations. Ghostly apparitions flickered at the periphery of vision, teasing with their elusive presence. The woods were alive with unsettling sounds, phantom footsteps, murmured conversations that seemed to echo from another era, and the haunting cries of creatures hidden within the foliage. Alex's scientific resolve began to waver as these inexplicable events clashed with their rational beliefs. Alex's presence was no longer a mere curiosity. The townsfolk had noticed their relentless exploration and investigation of the mysterious occurrences that plagued Ravenswood. A few, however, remained sympathetic to the outsider's pursuit of knowledge, while others warned of consequences beyond human understanding. As Alex delved deeper into the town's eerie history and encountered increasingly chilling phenomena, the line between the natural and supernatural blurred. The guardians of secrets watched, torn between dread and hope that perhaps, for once, someone would unveil the truth hidden beneath the centuries of enigma that had wrapped Ravenswood in its cold, spectral embrace. As Alex delved deeper into Ravenswood's mysteries, they soon crossed paths with Sarah, a local historian with a penchant for uncovering hidden secrets. Sarah was one of the few who had always believed that the truth was worth seeking, even if it meant confronting the darkest facets of her town's history. Her knowledge of Ravenswood was unparalleled, as she had spent years piecing together fragments of the town's enigmatic past. Alex and Sarah's initial interactions were guarded, tinged with a mutual skepticism, one scientific, the other born of an intimate connection to the town. However, as they began to share their discoveries and experiences, a deep and unbreakable bond formed between them. Their shared determination to uncover the mysteries of Ravenswood would drive them to confront the malevolent force lurking in Blackthorn Manor. Together, they embarked on an exploration of the town's most dreaded location, Blackthorn Manor. The mansion's looming presence seemed to grow even more imposing in their presence, as if it harbored its own consciousness. Armed with flashlights, research, and the knowledge Sarah had gathered throughout the years, they ventured into the mansion's depths. The creaking stairs and the cold, clammy air inside were an unwelcome reminder that the mansion had been abandoned for decades. They discovered hidden passages and forgotten rooms, each revealing eerie artifacts and unsettling relics that hinted at the mansion's dark history. An old mirror, cracked and tarnished, bore witness to countless souls who had gazed into its depths. Their most significant discovery, however, awaited them in a hidden chamber deep within the mansion. Amidst the chamber's dust-covered shelves and forgotten heirlooms, they found a diary, its pages yellowed with age and inked with faded cursive writing. The diary belonged to the mansion's original owner, a man named Jonathan Blackthorn. Within the diary's pages, they uncovered the tale of a curse that had plagued Ravenswood for centuries. Jonathan's words told of a malevolent force that he had unwittingly unleashed during an occult ritual in the woods. The force was relentless, haunting not only him but his descendants and every resident of Ravenswood. The more Alex and Sarah delved into the diary, the more they realized that the malevolent force's intentions were far more sinister than they had ever imagined. It sought to manipulate, corrupt, and ultimately destroy anyone who dared to challenge its dominion over Ravenswood. The diary hinted at a power that fed on fear, despair, and suffering, growing stronger with each passing generation. As Alex and Sarah pieced together the malevolent force's history, the stakes grew higher. They knew that their mission to reveal the truth had brought them face to face with a malevolence beyond comprehension, and that the battle to uncover Ravenswood's darkest secrets had only just begun. As Alex and Sarah uncovered the mansion's cursed history through the diary of Jonathan Blackthorn, the paranormal activity in Ravenswood escalated. Ghostly apparitions, once ephemeral, now grew bolder. They appeared at all hours, their faces contorted with torment, their voices laden with sorrow and anger. Shadows seemed to dance in sinister celebration as if they reveled in the chaos and fear they sowed. The malevolent force became an ever-present maleficent entity. Mysterious writings in an ancient, forgotten language began to appear on walls, floors, and even etched into the very flesh of the trees that surrounded the town. Candles flickered and danced, even in the absence of any wind, casting eerie, undulating shadows. As the supernatural occurrences intensified, the town's residents, already distrustful and superstitious, began to see Alex and Sarah as the catalysts of their torment. Whispers grew louder, painting the investigators as outsiders who had recklessly unleashed an ancient evil. The guardians of secrets, initially torn between hope and dread, were now largely united in their condemnation of the outsiders. The tavern, once a place of camaraderie, became a place of hostility. Accusations flew, and the townsfolk were quick to blame Alex and Sarah for the increasing darkness that had fallen upon Ravenswood. The investigators became outcasts, confined to the boundaries of the mansion they were trying to save. One fateful night, as the moon hung low in the sky and the trees groaned with the weight of centuries-old secrets, Alex and Sarah had a chilling encounter. In the heart of Blackthorn Manor, they came face to face with a vengeful spirit, a tormented soul who had suffered at the hands of the malevolent force for far too long. The spirit's eyes burned with a cold fire as it recounted its tragic tale, a story of lost love and betrayal that had led to a lifetime of suffering. Its ethereal, bony fingers pointed accusingly at the investigators, blaming them for awakening the malevolent force from its slumber. The vengeful spirit's presence was suffocating, and its voice was a chorus of anguished screams. It was a stark reminder that they were not alone in their quest to uncover the truth of Ravenswood, and that the spirits of the past would stop at nothing to protect their secrets. Despite the overwhelming fear that gripped them, Alex and Sarah knew that turning back was no longer an option. The malevolent force had been awakened, and the only way to banish it was to unearth the full extent of its sinister history and confront the curse that had plagued Ravenswood for centuries. As the town of Ravenswood descended deeper into darkness, the bond between Alex and Sarah grew stronger. They shared their fears, their doubts, and their determination to uncover the truth. With every chilling encounter and every whispered secret, their connection deepened. In the midst of turmoil, they found solace in each other's presence. Through their tireless research and relentless exploration of Blackthorn Manor, Alex and Sarah stumbled upon a long-forgotten ritual, a complex incantation that, if performed correctly, could potentially put the malevolent force to rest. The ritual required a combination of rare and ancient components, many of which were scattered throughout the town and its surroundings. The ingredients ranged from the ethereal, moonlight from the night the curse was born, to the tangible, a vial of soil from the Native American burial ground upon which Blackthorn Manor was built. The ritual, as described in Jonathan Blackthorn's diary, was a beacon of hope amid the growing despair. To complete the ritual, Alex and Sarah needed allies, those few among the town's residents who still believed in the curse. These believers, often the quiet dissenters in the face of their fellow townsfolk's distrust, had experienced the malevolent force's wrath firsthand and knew that the investigators' efforts were not in vain. One by one, they rallied the believers, sharing their discoveries and presenting the diary's account of the curse. Slowly but surely, a small, clandestine group formed, united by their belief in the curse's existence and their willingness to face the malevolent force head-on. As the investigators and their allies worked tirelessly to collect the required ritual components, the malevolent force did not remain idle. It began to manifest in more terrifying ways, no longer content to remain a hidden entity. Eerie whispers echoed through the town, taunting those who dared to challenge its dominion. Shadows took on corporeal forms, creeping through the town and leaving a trail of cold dread in their wake. The mansion itself seemed to be an extension of the malevolent force, its walls shifting and pulsing as if it were a living, maleficent creature. Inanimate objects took on a life of their own, attacking those who ventured too close. The town of Ravenswood had become a nightmare realm, and the malevolent force was no longer content with being a mere presence in the shadows. As the malevolent force grew stronger and its manifestations became more aggressive, the investigators and their allies knew that time was running out. The completion of the ritual was their only hope to put an end to the curse and save Ravenswood from the malevolent force's relentless grip. After a harrowing and relentless struggle, Alex and Sarah successfully completed the intricate ritual to put the malevolent force to rest. As the final incantations were uttered and the ritual's last element was offered, there was a deafening silence that followed. The shadows seemed to retreat, and the oppressive atmosphere that had hung over Ravenswood for so long began to dissipate. Ravenswood, while now safe from the malevolent force's malefic grasp, remained haunted by its dark history. The scars left by the curse were not easily forgotten. Many buildings still bore the marks of supernatural aggression, and the townsfolk had lost their innocence in the face of true terror. They had glimpsed the depths of evil that could lurk beneath the surface of their quaint town, and the memories of the malevolent force's manifestations would forever linger in their collective consciousness. As the sun began to rise on the day following the completion of the ritual, Alex and Sarah stood at the edge of Ravenswood, looking back at the town that had both united and divided them. Their shared experiences and the bonds formed during their relentless pursuit of the truth had left an indelible mark on their lives. However, they knew that the evil they had faced may rise again, and that their mission was far from over. The curse was not entirely broken, it was merely suppressed. The malevolent force could return, and Ravenswood would need protectors, whether skeptical or believers, in the future. With a heavy heart, the investigators made a silent pact. They would go their separate ways, but they would remain vigilant. The town's fate was now intertwined with their own, and they would always be ready to return should darkness threaten to consume Ravenswood once more. As they walked away from the town, their footsteps leaving imprints on the road, they couldn't help but look back at the place where they had uncovered the secrets of a malevolent past. The misty veil of Ravenswood was now lighter, its shadows less oppressive, but the echoes of its history lingered, reminding all who entered its boundaries that some mysteries were better left undisturbed. As Alex and Sarah left Ravenswood behind, they couldn't help but think about the enduring mysteries that would forever haunt the town. The darkness they had faced was but a fragment of the secrets held by the ancient forest, the town's history, and the malevolent force that had plagued it for centuries. Ravenswood was a place of contradictions, where beauty and terror coexisted in uneasy harmony. In the quiet of their departure, the investigators knew that while they had uncovered some of the town's secrets, the true depths of its enigma remained uncharted. The forest's ancient wisdom, the secrets of the mansion's walls, and the malevolent force's origin were shrouded in an impenetrable veil. The shadows that danced in the night and the whispers that carried on the wind held their secrets close, and Ravenswood remained a place where the unknown met the unimaginable. Ravenswood had been a crucible, testing the courage of those who dared to confront its mysteries. The townsfolk, who had lived in the shadow of a curse, and the outsiders, who ventured into the unknown, had displayed extraordinary bravery in the face of fear. They had stared into the abyss of the supernatural and emerged scarred but victorious. The investigators, Alex and Sarah, were examples of the unwavering determination it took to challenge the malevolent force. In a world where the line between the known and the unknown was blurred, they had persevered, refusing to let the town succumb to the darkness. Their commitment to revealing the truth and their willingness to confront malevolence had been both an inspiration and a testament to the human spirit's indomitable courage. If you found this tale of horror and mystery in Ravenswood captivating, we encourage you to like, subscribe, and share this story with others. The more who join our journey into the eerie and unexplained, the more we can uncover together. As the sun set on Ravenswood and our story comes to a close, remember that in the world of the supernatural, the mysteries never truly end. There are still secrets to be uncovered, darkness to be faced, and courage to be tested. The misty town of Ravenswood may be forever haunted by its past, and who knows what new horrors might emerge in the future. So, stay tuned for potential sequels and other stories related to the world of Ravenswood. The darkness has not been entirely vanquished, and there are more tales to be told, more mysteries to explore, and more courage to be celebrated. In the realm of the unexplained, the adventure is never truly over. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we look forward to sharing more chilling tales with you in the future.